What is up, YouTube? Welcome to a special episode of the Upland Show. I'm super excited today. We have the one and only Player of the Year with us. We have Mucida of the Upland Brazil YouTube channel. This is the first time we've actually done a live stream together. Let's bring him on. Mucida, how you doing tonight, my friend? It's a little bit later in Brazil right now, but thanks for joining me.
Yeah, no, it's okay, man. It's a pleasure to be here. I watched you since I started playing this game. It's a really pleasure to be here. Thanks.
Awesome.
For the
yeah, that means a lot. Thanks, thank you, my man. And I'm really grateful for everything you've done for the Upland community as well. I'm sure your channel and all the work you've put in alone has been a big reason that Rio is one of the first cities coming to the first international city coming to Upland. So I think some personal credit is due there for the hard work that you've put in to introduce so much of the Brazilian community to Upland. What's your journey been like, kind of taking that on, you know?
Yeah, man, it was crazy because I wasn't imagining this at all. I was just trying to explain the game for people that doesn't understand English. I was making videos in Portuguese, and it started to grow. Brazil loved the game, so man, we have almost 6,000 followers right now in YouTube channel. So we are getting huge here. So that's
impressive. Did you start your YouTube channel specifically for Upland?
Yes.
Or were you doing any other types of videos?
No, I had one about C++. I am a software engineer, but I started a new one for Upland.
Okay.
And also the Instagram about the Upland.
Wow.
Yeah.
6,000 already. I think, we're trending right at about the same. So that's really cool.
It's 5.5.
Okay. Hey, we can always round up. Got to round up.
Yeah.
That's cool. So we are super excited. For those of you who may not know, Rio de Janeiro is the first international city coming to Upland, and that is dropping tomorrow. This is going to be the earliest release that we have seen as far as the time in the morning. We had the stress test today. Let's go down and look at some of these details. So Rio de Janeiro release details. Rio is planned to release Tuesday, July 26th at 5 a.m. Pacific time. So this is 9 a.m. local time in Brazil. Is that correct?
Is correct, because I think it's going to be a little advantage for us because a lot of people from the US are going to be sleeping.
yeah. Only the truly dedicated people will be waking up that early to mint. But hey, now those of us in the US get a taste of what it's been like for a lot of the players outside of the US. I mean, there's players all around the world who've been, waking up really early in the morning or staying up really late at night to mint cities. I'm sure for you, some of them have not been at the most convenient times.
Yeah, that's a point, because from us here, it's not that bad because we meet at the lunch time. So 1 p.m. is not a problem. But Europe, some places in Europe, I heard them complaining a lot about the times.
Yeah, how early they have to get up or how late they have to stay up. Yeah, that's crazy. So it says, because Rio is such a large city, this will be a partial release. So it's not the entire city of Rio de Janeiro. I don't really know much about. I was looking at, if you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
So I just arrived here in Rio. I missed out on the stress test earlier, but the stress test was right here in, where is it? In Centro, right up here.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so this is kind of your launch pad for those of you who may want to be deciding where you're going to go. And for those of you who don't know what that means, like right before the city release goes live, a lot of people will send to like one of these corner properties so that their block explorer can start floating up into an area that they may want to go. So it's important to plan your strategy. I'm curious, Mucida, do you have a certain city, like from a launch pad from Centro, that you would be thinking would be a really good place to go? There's Lapa around it. I don't know. You're going to have to help me with the names of all these.
Saúde is no, it's not that
Saud,
good.
okay.
Yes, Lapa
But
is a good.
hey,
Place.
but
Yes.
Saud, what I have noticed with the Upland community, even if it's not a popular city necessarily in the real world, because of the size, because of how small it is,
Yes.
that's always a decent strategy, is just to go somewhere just because of how few properties there are. Is that right?
Yes, and I think a lot of people are trying to make a node in Rio, so all the small neighborhoods are going to be very, very uh,
Very highly sought
high.
after.
Yes, how to solve.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, what what other neighborhoods pop out to you though? Maybe as like real, like is Lapa gonna
Lapa
be
is very good. Yeah,
okay?
it's very good.
So that
Um,
one is actually small and has a lot of interest. So that one may be one of the
yes,
first ones to sell out. I'm
yes.
assuming.
Centro is our downtown, and Lapa is part of is almost in the middle of the downtown. So we have a lot of historical buildings and culture in these neighborhoods. So Lapa is very good because it's small.
Okay. And
And
then
down
let's
to
see.
south is crazy. South is gonna be
So
the
this is south down
the
here.
beaches: Leme, Copacabana, Ipanema.
Oh,
This
Copacabana.
yeah.
Okay.
Those are the most famous beaches in Brazil: Copacabana, Ipanema, Leblon,
Okay, so
Leme.
all of these are like really nice places to live, like really.
Yes, it's
Okay.
beautiful. It's very touristic, and man, it's really beautiful there. And
Okay. So
the
lots
most
of like
famous parts,
vacation, lots of maybe like vacation spots here,
yeah,
things like
it's
that. Oh, it looks like there's an
hotels.
arena out here. Would
Yeah.
you rank any of these like over, or do you think all of these along the coast are pretty good down here?
The most famous is Copacabana.
Okay, so
This avenue
Copacabana.
here, this yellow avenue, it's very known because of the street near the beach, the sands.
Oh,
So
this street right
yeah,
along
yeah, this is very famous street. The street view,
Avenida Atlantica, is that?
Atlantica, yes.
Okay.
And the up- the lap the not lapa the lamb the right the neighborhood in the right, yes, this the small one, lamb, it's also very nice and small
Okay.
and very beautiful. So the smallest one, so maybe it's the mm, easy to sell because people are going to try to have one here.
Okay, so yeah, this one's really small and it's kind of that beachfront property. I'm curious if
Yes,
this
it's
oh,
a fortress, it's like a castle maybe.
okay. Do you think this
I
could be a landmark property maybe, or
I don't think it's gonna be a property to buy.
oh,
Maybe
okay.
it's reserved.
Okay.
I don't
But
know.
there'll probably be a
Prob
lot right here on right
Yes.
along this same road. So one of the strategies I like to teach people, and I think uh, a lot of people are developing this strategy, is when you go for don't just go for a neighborhood. If you can, try to double down and get a street and a neighborhood at the same time. So maybe because of this avenue here, Avenida Atlantica could become a
Yeah.
a collection possibly. You could get both the neighborhood and the street, and two birds with one stone
If you look the
there.
street view of Avenida Atlântica, maybe you're going to recognize the street because it's very famous.
Okay.
It's this
Yeah,
one.
kind of like Pacific Coast Highway in California. I
Yeah.
imagine it's like
Yes.
similar to that, driving along the coast, very beautiful.
Exactly. Ipanema is also very popular. We
Okay.
have songs about the girl from Ipanema is a very popular
Okay.
song. So
That's good to know. Good culture
yeah,
there. Any
Yes.
other streets around here that pop
Vieira
out to?
Soto, the same thing about the Atlântica is this Avenida Vieira
Okay,
Soto.
because it's the same.
Yeah, same position.
Okay, right along the beach. So this one as well
Yes,
could be a really good one. Wow, look at all these like nice
it's
beachfront
bars. Yeah,
bars.
yeah, a lot. We have a lot
Probably
of those.
nice place to hang out at the beach.
Yeah, that's the thing of Ipanema. It's a
Okay.
nice place to go and have a drink.
You can even
It's
walk up
beautiful.
to McDonald's.
Yeah, some people prefer to go to McDonald's. And the left one is also very. Leblon is one of the most expensive here in Rio.
Really?
Yeah, Pão de
Okay.
Açúcar is there. It's very famous. This it's in English is sugar bread, but
Okay.
it's a very known tourist point here.
Okay. Really good to know. Thank you so much for
Leblon.
sharing that with us.
And another one very important is these two in the top, Mangueira and Maracanã.
All the way up at the top up here,
No, no,
or
right before the Rio, the left of the Rio, and yes,
over
Maracanã.
here?
Yeah, Mangueira is one.
Mangueira?
Mangueira is the samba school that made a partnership with Upland these days.
Really?
Yeah, and the Mangueira is they came from this neighborhood. The entire samba school was made there and was created there, and I think it's the first samba school in Rio is Mangueira, and they are very popular. And this neighborhood is entire known as Mangueira, so maybe a really good neighborhood to be
Okay,
because of the partnership.
that's really good to know. So Upland has some ties with some things going on in this neighborhood.
Yeah, we don't know what Mangueira is going to do in Upland. We know that they made a partnership,
Okay.
maybe uh, ornaments with some some very fancy
So
carnival stuff.
what type of school? It's a summer school, you said? Is that like what?
Samba,
Oh, samba?
samba. Yeah, we
What is
have
that? Sorry,
the
I'm not
carnival.
familiar with what that is.
Do you know carnival in Brazil?
Yeah, yeah.
We have all the parades. Each school has like 1 hour to present themselves through the street, and people are watching it, and it's a championship. Every year we have a champion, and Mangueira is one of the most popular one. They won a lot of those carnivals. It's like everyone around the world knows
So
about
are these
carnival.
like is this like dancing? Like
Yeah.
performance?
Yes, they are going through the streets for 1 hour with a lot of fantasy costumes,
Okay.
with a lot of big trucks with some things on top, ornaments on top of it. It's very beautiful. It's the carnival that people knows in
Yeah,
Rio.
yeah. I've heard a lot about the carnival
Yeah,
in Brazil. I
and
know that's a big
Mangueira,
part of the culture.
yes, and Mangueira is one of the most famous. And they made
Okay.
a partnership with Upland, so it's famous. It's culture. It's well known and it's partnership, and there is a neighborhood about that. So
Beautiful. Do you think there's like specific properties here that will be more key to get? Like,
I would say that this one called Mangueira, that's the where they build the stuffs and they made the customs and prepared the left. Yes, this one.
this one here?
It's a building that they are inside this building,
Okay.
but I don't know if it's gonna be a landmark or something.
So Upland may be making a partnership with them, and this could maybe be a factory that they're producing ornaments or something
Yeah.
like that for buildings, or
Mhm.
that could be really cool, like neighborhoods decked out in kind of Brazilian culture ornaments and design,
Uh,
and that would be really cool.
yes, it would be awesome.
So we could see this kind of being like the current Metaverse Motors building, where there's a factory and they're actually producing. That's something we may see happening
Yeah,
in this neighborhood. And as people know, if you go to Santa Clara, the properties directly around the factory are really highly sought after. So even if you can't actually get that one, and again, we're speculating here, but
Yeah,
maybe
for
going
sure.
for one or two properties around here could be really good.
Yeah, the only thing that I know is that they made a partnership with Mangueira, and that's the neighborhood. So
Okay.
it's something's good. Something's
Yeah,
good
we're
inside.
speculating. We don't know anything for sure, but hey, we're telling you what we know.
Yeah, and
And then you said
Maracanã
one more neighborhood over here was really good.
on the bottom. Maracanã is the stadium, the
Maracanã.
most famous stadium in Brazil. It's the big. It
This is the
was,
soccer stadium.
yes, soccer stadium. It
Okay.
used to be the biggest one in the world, but so Arabia came and made a lot of bigger
So,
stadiums. So and Upland start making partnership with soccer teams.
yep.
So maybe Brazil is the number one in soccer. So
Oh yeah.
I think probably Upland is going to try partnership with Brazilian soccer teams. So
Yeah, so this would
Maracanã
be one of
is
the
there.
best soccer stadiums. So obviously buying
Yeah.
any property around here, I guarantee this stadium will not be available to mint.
No,
It's for sure going to at least be a landmark, or they're going to save it for a partnership. So obviously buying any properties around here will be great for people wanting to do businesses, to set up secondary fan shops. Like even if a partnership doesn't come soon, even selling, Porto soccer legits or even NFL legits, just sports legits near stadiums, I think are always going to be a very successful place for businesses. So look for a property around here that could maybe fit an apartment building. That would be well worth your time during the craziness of minting going on tomorrow.
I saw a comment here. It's important. Mangueira, it's a good guess because of the partnership, but it's a very poor neighborhood. It's not beautiful or nothing like that. It's cultural. We know
Yeah.
Mangueira because of that, but the properties there are not that beautiful.
Yeah, so like I said, I was busy during the minting time today. Did you see what the mint prices were on these properties in Centro? What was
I
kind of the average price you were seeing?
I think it's 172 upex per up to per. You know,
Okay, so
so
what were some of the cheapest FSA properties that you were?
1,000.
1,000?
Yep,
Beautiful.
a lot because I have a lot of small properties there. So a
Yeah,
lot
and
of
I hear they're going to do. I was seeing this earlier that they're doing specific neighborhoods, like starter neighborhoods, that are going to be 100% FSA
FSA. Yes, it's
neighborhoods.
all
So
the way left.
it
Very far
was
from the Rio.
uh,
Yeah, left. Go to left.
over here. Is it like,
Yeah, a lot. Yes, this
oh,
one.
this one?
It's Seats of God. We have a movie that is very famous about this Seat of God, Cidade de Deus.
Cidade
De Deus.
Deus.
Deus
Okay.
is God. Yeah,
Yeah.
Seat of God. So this entire neighborhood is gonna be FSA. That's
So for FSA players, this is going to be a great place to start. The nice thing about it being exclusively FSA is that a lot of us players who like to own properties in every neighborhood, especially for treasure hunting and things like that, this is a great opportunity for new players. You're going to be the only people that can buy here. So all of you new players where your first city is Brazil, maybe get a few properties here because you can probably easily triple or quadruple the money that you pay for a property here, because a lot of us longtime players with more investment in the game will happily buy some of these properties from you, because a lot of people like me want to own like at least 2 or 3 properties in every neighborhood, especially like I said, for treasure hunting and things like
yeah.
that. So
And I wouldn't be surprised if Upland puts this neighborhood as a collection. It would be nice to have a collection just for starters.
just for starters, that would be really cool if they did that. That would be really cool if they did that. So yeah, there it is. So for those of you who don't know, if you zoom out all the way, it's make sure you toggle on the map so you can see
It's very
like
far away.
all the starter neighborhoods that are released are all along the coast. But out here, Rio de Janeiro stretches all the way out here, and this is where this city will be. So eventually, I'm sure Upland will release all of this other land. I'm not sure how far how big Rio de Janeiro actually is, but
Yeah, you can maybe trace like this yellow streets over. Yeah, this one.
oh,
Yeah,
kind of this
yes,
one.
maybe this. Yeah, probably
Okay,
this
so it's
size.
roughly this area, and so yeah, all of this will eventually be released. So this is going to be a great opportunity, especially because remember when these cities are released. Go buy if you can. If you're a starter, I would mint properties right along the edge. For example, right here, because people wanting to like as soon as this part's released, a lot of people will be sending to these properties when the next when when Upland releases the rest of Rio. For example, let me show you in Centro. You'll see a lot of people taking advantage of this already, listing properties right along the edge here for a lot of money because they know that some big people might be willing, if they really want a property over here, someone might be willing to pay a lot of money for this property just so they have a launch pad to send to as many times as they want. Because remember, if you own the property, you can send to it as many times as you want, and then you can have that as a launching point. So that is a strategy a lot of people do. So buying properties along the edge of neighborhoods is also a really good strategy to improve value, especially if it's the current border of the city and they're expanding to release more of that. So all of these ones along the edge of Lapa, I'm sure, are listed for
Yeah, that's
a lot more than they paid for it. You see what I mean? Even the small FSA one is 60,000.
This one probably
So
good. I don't.
let's see the cheapest one we can actually find around here.
I think it's 19.
Okay, 18,000.
No,
I may get
18.
that one just because I don't have one yet. That's the cheapest one I've seen. I need to have need to own at least one in
Yeah.
Brazil so far. So there we go.
Now you're a Brazilian citizen.
And it's an FSA property. I love it.
Yeah, this guy made like 19x
Yeah.
price.
Yeah, they at least 10x their money on that one.
Yeah.
So there you see Upland at its best.
And I have this
What
island
about
too.
up here? Do you think there's any really good spots to pay attention to up here?
Probably the place where people are going to try a node because there's nothing really that important there, but and so it's gonna be the easiest part to mint, I think. And we have some good streets there to make racetracks.
Oh yeah, look at how
Jardim Guanabara.
look
Yeah, we
at
have
kind of
even
how
a
how
Pokeball.
curvy the streets are. They could do some really
Yeah.
cool stuff in here.
Yes, and
Yeah,
it's not that famous, and I think probably it's gonna be easy to meet. But if everyone knows that it's easy to meet, so it can be not that easy to meet because a lot of people are going to be there.
yeah. What really sticks out to me is like you're saying the opportunity for nodes here. Like look how small this neighborhood Zumbi is here. That's even a really cool, unique name.
Yeah, Zumbi, yes.
That's
good.
that there's not going to be, look how few streets there are. There's going to be maybe like less than 30 or 40 properties in this entire neighborhood, so ones like that will sell out really fast, and that is always a good investment if you can mint some of those. Like look at this one's really unique too because it's just kind of long and extends from side to side.
Both, yeah.
And Monero is really small as well.
Monero, yes, really small, and we have to take care about the size of the properties because we have a lot of really small properties there.
Okay.
On the neighborhood, so a lot of them you probably can't fit even a small townhouse.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah,
So
you
some of
have
these
to
will be
take
too
out
small to
those-
even fit. the smallest buildings on. That's
Yes, tomorrow when they release the properties, maybe you can figure out.
okay. But even then, even if you can't fit a property on it, treasure hunting, if you can mint, I personally think if you can mint any property below 5,000 UPIX, like the floor, I believe the floor will quickly rise to five. Like I'm not sure what it will rise to in Brazil, but I think fairly quickly we'll see the cities sell out because it's the first international city. We're seeing fairly low prices. What do you think? Do you think we could actually see this whole city sell out? I mean, again, it depends on pricing because I was saying LA was going to sell out, but that's because I didn't know that it was going to be so ridiculously expensive. Like even the Wells, who had a ton of money to spend, could only buy like 100 properties because they're just so dang expensive. I mean, we saw a ton of properties that were like 10 million UPIX each. And
Yeah, Brazil is Rio is a tier 4, so I think the price is not that big. So probably Rio can be sold out quickly.
yeah, and especially with them only releasing a portion of the city, I'm thinking the Upland team wants to see it sell out, and then they reserved this city over here, or this neighborhood, just to be all FSA, so that even if all the non-FSAs sell out, there's still FSA opportunity for new players to join. And I think Upland wants to keep. That's one of the key reasons I think they always release new neighborhoods. They always want new players to be able to get that, one or two properties for free when they first join as an FSA player, and they have an advantage to sell and flip that property, see how the game works. So I think Upland maybe will keep releasing some smaller cities if they need to as FSA cities. I would like to see them do that, and then some of the core part that's released sell out really fast. That's what I'm hoping for.
Me too. And today we had 4,000 block explorers in Central, and it's sold out, I think, in 14 minutes or 15 minutes.
15 minutes, and Centro is pretty big compared to like the rest. I mean, that takes up a big portion of all that's released,
Yeah, I think it's 14 properties there, 15, 14 properties.
Okay.
So 1,000 properties per minute.
Jeez. Yeah, there's 15,000 properties. That went really quick.
Yeah, it was amazing. I think all the Rio is going to be like that tomorrow.
So what else can you tell us about, I think just some fun facts about Brazil. Hey, here's a fun fact for me. I actually had some Brazilian friends when I lived in Florida for a few years. And I did learn one of my favorite treats was brigadeiro.
Yeah, brigadeiro is very good.
It's like a chocolate caramel, but then I learned that some pronunciation of Portuguese words, right, that I thought was really unique to the Portuguese language that I haven't, because I actually learned Haitian Creole. I speak the language they speak in Haiti, which is kind of a unique language to learn.
Why?
And not many people know that. It was for missionary work, actually.
Oh, nice.
And so, but while living in Florida, there was a lot of Haitians, there was a lot of Brazilians, there's a lot of, Hispanics from all over, lots of different countries. But some of my friends, I loved brigadeiro, and then I learned if you make it in the cake, like if it's big, it's brigadeirão, right? Brigadeirão. And it's such a unique, like just at the end of the word, like brigadeiro or brigadeirão. Is that right?
Yeah, it's like big brigadeiro.
So yeah, and that to me was really unique in the language, that it's like just the end of the pronunciation of the word is what tells you small or big. That's like very unique to.
It's really like the dad and daddy. Daddy's little dad, and it's almost the same thing. Brigadeiro and brigadeirão, because it's big.
So I thought that was cool. So speaking of Brazilian food, Maybe tell us some of your favorite dishes, or maybe there's some even restaurants in Rio that are popular for Brazilian food people could
It,
go for.
it's hard to list one because we have. I think food is one of the amazing things that we have here. We have people from everywhere around the world, so we have a lot of good food here. But the Brazilian food is just the like rice and beans and meat is what we eat every day, but it's
Hey,
very
that's
good.
always good.
Always good. Drink, we have a lot of drinks here because it's very hot, so we used to drink like very icy drinks, and they are amazing too because you refresh and get drunk
Oh
at the
yeah.
same time. Yeah, we also used to drink outside the bars because it's hot inside the bar. So we have a lot of tables around the streets. So you can
Yeah,
see a lot of
outdoor
people.
seating, things like
Yeah,
that. That
we
sounds
have.
fun.
Yeah, and we have a fun fact that for us, Rio is the first national city, not the international city, because all these United States cities are the international cities.
Yeah,
Brazil
yeah.
is the national one.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
And let me see what we
So
have more.
what's your personal favorite dish? Cuz like the other food I've had that's I think is really unique to Brazil that's really good is the cheese bread, the pão de queso or
Ponte
whatever,
Cake.
whatever.
It's from my state. I don't
So
live in Rio.
delicious.
Yeah, and probably you ate the wrong one because
Yeah, probably.
because the real one is in Minas Gerais, is a state here. We invented the the cheese bread, and Rio in São Paulo they made a one with no cheese, so it's not cheese.
Oh,
It
really?
has flavor of cheese, but it hasn't because cheese is very expensive, so they make with flavor of cheese.
Oh, that makes
In my
sense.
state, they put cheese, so it's very good,
It's
very good,
delicious. That
delicious.
is one of
And
my favorites.
we drink a lot of coffee here too. Pizza, it's
Hey,
yeah,
pizza's delicious.
everyone has. Yeah. But we used to change things here. Pizza is not just a small pizza. It's pizza with even hot dogs on top of pizza. We made
Really?
a yeah. We changed the Japanese foods. We put a lot of things in the Japanese foods. We put things. We have hot dogs. When I went to US, they made a hot dog with the bread and the salsa, and
Mhm.
that was. Where is the rest of the hot dog? Because
You're
here
used
we
to way
put
more ingredients.
yeah, way more coin, a lot of things.
Yeah,
You can find
that
eggs
sounds
on
delicious.
yeah. So
Yeah, hey,
we
that's something we
increment
can always
this.
talk about. When you travel to new places, that's always one of the most exciting things is to try the different flavors that are
Yeah, for
local
sure.
to that because that's what's so unique and cool about different cultures around the world is the food. I love
Uh,
going and tasting all the different food and the spices
Flavors.
around the world. You
And
know.
I also have a question about Rio. What you in US and with your friends, what do you know about Rio for at this time? Because you probably start to study about Rio
Yeah,
after.
I definitely know like the like you said, Carnival is a really big kind of cultural thing in Rio that I would love to be able to attend one day. That sounds
Me too.
really fun and exciting. Do most cities do that? Like, is it like a local thing, or is it?
Yeah, we have street carnivals that like we have the famous one that is in Rio and São Paulo. It's very they spend a lot of money producing these things, and they turn the TVs make they I don't know how to say, but they film this thing and put in TV of in live. But we have a lot of carnivals everywhere, but it's just some trucks with sound or some band playing
Yeah,
and people going behind the truck drinking and dancing
dancing,
all
having a
day
good
long,
time.
yeah, for 4 days.
Is
So
it true? There's a lot of there's a lot of nudity at carnivals. A lot of people go topless and things like
Sometimes.
that.
Yeah, you probably won't see if you go to a normal carnival, but you can find.
One of my friends told me that there's a lot of them that
Yeah,
are
you can
just
find for
you
sure.
take your clothes off and have a good time, right? Free
They don't
spirit.
care. Yeah, something like that.
Hey, BitSource AML in chat says jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I'm actually a really big fan of UFC, of Ultimate Fighting, and it's actually one of my favorite sports that I watch and actually know. Upland, that would be a massive partnership, is getting in with these
Yes,
fighters,
it will.
Conor McGregor, people like that, some of the
Yeah,
top
and I think after the Rice Grace family, all the UFC fighters start to learn
jiu-jitsu.
jiu-jitsu
Oh yeah.
because they had to know that.
You have to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, in martial arts you have to know all the different backgrounds, taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, all these different sports come together in one.
Box.
Boxing, and jiu-jitsu is one of the ones that a lot of the best UFC fighters have that jiu-jitsu background, because
Yeah,
they
I
can
can't.
take you down from any position. Even if they're on the ground, they're very dangerous. So
Yeah,
I
I
could
can
talk
remember
about.
the small guy, the Royce Grace, and fighting with really big guys and
Yep.
just grab them. Okay,
Submits them, chokes them out.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so that's another awesome thing that comes from Brazil is jiu-jitsu. Really cool fighting style that's been really big in the world of combat sports. So that's really
Our
cool as well.
coffee
Good
also.
shout out, BitSource. um, what are you like? What do you think is going to be kind of a cool part about Upland coming to Brazil? Do you that you think will be cool for a lot of players who don't know a lot about Brazil to learn about Brazil through finding it in Upland?
Yeah, because I think all when you start playing Upland, when you get some, uh, when you learn to play Upland, we start to study about the cities that are going to be released, and I learned a lot about cities in US that I didn't know, like Detroit, New Orleans, Kansas. I didn't know about the city, and I studied about it. So yeah, the players are going to know more about Brazil and the other cities because they will have to study that for Upland to buy good stuff. But when you're studying, you start to see some pictures and movies and
Yep,
videos. It goes
that's true.
beyond Upland. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the
So
things I do, and I'm actually doing it right now, is when a city's released, I go Rio de Janeiro, and I just go best
place.
tourist attractions.
I
And this
can
one
tell.
was really big for me in places like bringing up New Orleans. One of the best things, it mentioned the haunted places.
I don't.
And that's one that became an ultra rare collection. So that's one of the things I like to do, is just go through, say top, what's fun to do in Brazil, and then just see okay, here's 15 top tourist attractions, and then go through that when just on Google, find an
Yeah,
article,
this
and then
one
they're top.
is this one is famous. This one
So
is
the
you're
Lapa
looking.
Arches, that's going to be right there in
Yeah,
Lapa. You could get buildings close to that. Maybe even
mhm.
this property will be available to own.
It's the small one. Look that. It's a municipal theater. It's very nice.
Located
Uh,
in the city center. Okay, that's good. So that one will be in
it's a
there, right?
center, yeah, downtown. Uh,
So
I don't know this one. It's a very
that's the
small
beach. That's
beach.
not going to
Yeah,
be
very
property
small.
related.
Barra da Tijuca is not releasing to this at this first release. It's,
Okay.
it's for the future. Parque
That's
Lage,
beautiful,
just
this building right
beautiful.
here.
Yeah,
Oh, look, that is really close to the
the
Christ the Redeemer
Redeemer.
statue.
Yeah, very nice this one.
So is this one will be in the release? right?
I think, yeah.
Let's see. And hey, let's test out the new Google search
Yeah,
features. How about
that would be
that?
nice.
Let's see how well this works. So you can just,
There it is.
ooh,
Oh,
just outside.
the
Okay.
side.
So hey, check that out. You can just type in now using the Google powered search of Upland, type in the name of buildings and it can show up. So if you're unsure about any
Search
of
for
these,
Lagoa. This one is also not in this release, but it's
okay. So
very
there's something
beautiful.
to look forward to. Here's the
It's a
big
lake.
stadium.
Yeah, Maracana. This one.
This is the soccer stadium we were talking about,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
How many people? Let's see how many people this seats.
70
200,000 people.
in 1950s. They reduced this because they have some place that you
Oh, it
can
was
stay
bigger.
up. Yeah, that was big.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
bigger than a lot of cities here.
So it's currently able to see 80,000 spectators, and that
Uh,
is one of the newest, nicest NFL stadiums. If you're, I mean, we have NFLPA legit. This is the Raiders Stadium in Las Vegas, and that one seats 80,000. So this is a massive,
massive. Yeah,
massive stadium. That's really cool.
really big.
So yeah,
Maracana.
look, buy some of these properties around here
And
if you
that
want to
that
make a
little one,
secondary legit store or something.
the little circle in the top left. Yeah, it's a stadium, but for indoor, like volleyball
Okay.
and stuff like that. It's Maracanãzinho. It's a
Okay, so
little Maracanã.
that property may be available then tomorrow. I imagine this definitely won't. This could be one to go for that may be available tomorrow. So look
I
out
know.
for this smaller part of the stadium. It's possible they'll put it all as one, but hey,
Yeah, maybe
be on the lookout. You might be able to get that one.
this.
National Park, probably no properties there. Look at
No,
that Lapa neighborhood. We already
yeah, we
talked
have
about
this very
Lapa. Look at that.
Lapas.
Real dude, this is such amazing. Is this something you see a lot in Brazil? Is this kind of tile work? Or is this unique to like
It's
this
unique.
neighborhood maybe?
We have some, but in other states maybe. But in Rio, this one is the most beautiful one. I
That's
don't know if you have
amazing.
more.
That
Yeah,
takes a
that's
lot of talent to do something like that
the
with
deal.
tile.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy.
Beautiful. I love that. I
It's
love
Lapa.
that's one thing that really sticks out to me personally about Brazil that you don't see is like the really just colors. Like even with the
Colors,
carnival,
sure.
right? Just
Ah,
love
sun
just
and
all
colors.
sorts of colors, right? And
Yeah,
beauty.
for sure, and a lot of sun.
Yeah.
Santa Teresa neighborhood. I don't think it's a
Yeah, Santa Teresa
Teresa.
neighborhood. Did we
It's
see
not
this one's
released.
not, this one's out of it, right?
Let me check because I don't remember all the neighborhood. Santa Teresa is not there.
Oh, this is probably
No,
the wrong
yes,
spot.
it is. It is.
Or is this the neighborhood?
It's a very strange
Oh,
neighborhood.
it is.
It's
The
big one.
name's way down here, but
Yeah,
that's really big. So it goes all up here. Okay.
yeah.
It's
And
possible this could be one of like the blue standard collections because a lot of times they'll pick a really big neighborhood, kind of like
yes.
Sunset in San Francisco is one of the bigger neighborhoods. Is kind of that blue standard collection. So it's possible some of these, look at these zigzaggy streets.
Yeah.
Maybe a lot of small properties here. That could very well be one, but we'll see.
Let's see.
Yeah, look at
Number
this
5. Yeah,
view
a lot
there.
of
Well, that's
mountains.
one thing I'm excited to do. Like we were talking about before, of how you learn more about cities from playing Upland. Is you buy properties and you do the street view on it, and you really get to see, wow, this is cool. Like
Yeah,
you own a property in the hills or something like that. You know, in
yeah,
Upland you can't really see the
the reels.
the
Yeah.
the geographics of like if it's on a hill or something like that. Maybe they'll make it 3D eventually. That would be cool.
It would be nice, man. Really nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Jardim Botânico. It's a garden.
Botanical
Really beautiful.
gardens. Okay.
Yeah, botanical garden.
That that could be something to go for there. I wonder if
let me check.
located in the Lagoa neighborhood.
It's not in the release. It's near
No.
that the lake that
Okay.
I said. Whoa.
Sugarloaf Mountain.
Yeah,
That's pretty
it's
cool looking.
it's Pão de Açúcar. It's in the neighborhood Leblon, I think,
Okay, that's here.
in the south. Yeah, it's Pão de Açúcar. Take a zoom, more zoom.
Oh, zoom in more.
Yeah, more. Yeah. Yes, Pão de Açúcar. I think this Pão de Açúcar is the supermarket, not the not the
Oh,
mountains.
okay.
They have the same name. So
Should I try
Jardim
searching
Botânico
that
is
one?
over there. Yeah.
Sugarloaf Mountain. I'm curious if this will show up.
No, I think it's gonna have to be Pão de
Maybe it will.
Açúcar. It's Urca. Ah, it's more. Ah, it's Urca. Sugarloaf. Yeah.
That may they'll have the right spelling
I have a
here.
I have a friend saying that it's from Rio. He's typing on the chat. Let me check.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's
Not
from
released. Santa Teresa. Okay.
Jardim Botânico, not released, and I
Not
think
released.
not released.
Okay, good to know. Thank you for helping us out in chat.
People from Rio are helping us.
Ipanema.
A beach. It's the one that I said. It's not the Avenida Atlântica. It's the other one. It's very beautiful too. Is what's the name?
Lies
in
between
the south.
Copacabana
Yeah,
and
Avenida Vieira
Upland.
Souto. This one.
Yeah, okay, so that's here.
Yeah.
That's this beach.
Yes. This
So yeah,
beach.
this street could be a good one to go for right here along the beach. Owning beach property. That this is the one where we said there's a lot of bars and things like that. Look at all those.
Yeah, this one.
Get some of these bars. Those are going to be highly sought after. Look at this one. It's like the same name, the same bar. It's
Yeah.
like they have like 4 locations at this beach. That's pretty cool.
It's rich.
Must be pretty popular, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are.
Maybe try to collect all 4 of those and turn it
It's
into
a
your
collection.
own collection.
I think the next one's gonna be Copacabana. probably.
Copacabana.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the
We saw that one.
really
And then obviously
The
Christ the
Redeemer,
Redeemer
yeah.
statue is going to be the most popular tourist attraction. I think Upland may not release this just for may not even do it as a landmark. Maybe they will, but maybe there could be some political reasons not to do it or something like that. I'm not sure, but
probably it's reserved for something.
yeah, I mean it's religious, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, also. Well, that
but
makes sense.
very beautiful. One of the coolest tourist attractions in the world to visit. I'm sure. I would love to. I would
Sure.
love to go there. And look at these hills. That's something that's very unique, I think, to Brazil as well. Is it just very narrow mountains that
Mountain.
shoot up really tall. It's insane how tall. I'm not
And
sure if it's this picture that makes it look so
No,
tall, but
it's tall. Yeah,
that's
and
amazing.
It gives a really beautiful view of everything around.
Yeah, you can see panoramic view of the entire Rio de Janeiro from there.
Yeah,
huh?
and the funny thing is that most of the most beautiful views in Rio are on the not mountains. It's what do you call it's
Hilltops,
hills?
hilltops,
Yeah,
mountains.
hills. But the poor families live there because they start to go up the hills and build for themselves without the city helping, and they start to go through the hills, and they have the most beautiful views from Rio.
Wow.
But it's the favelas, the most dangerous places in Rio. It's very it's beautiful and dangerous and poor. Why? It should be the
Interesting.
most expensive
That's very
place.
different from the U.S., where most of the hillsides, especially beachfront, like ocean view from a hillside, is like one of the most highly sought after property types, I think, in the world in a lot of places. That's interesting
Yeah,
that
it's
some of the
interesting.
lower value properties are here, you know.
Yeah,
Maybe over time that will change. Who knows?
yeah, maybe I don't know. It's very deep
So it's
already.
kind of dangerous going through neighborhoods to get up to here. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it is. I think the two words that I hear the most is Rio is beautiful and Rio is dangerous. But Rio is much more beautiful than dangerous because it's beautiful 24 hours and
Oh yeah.
dangerous depend on where you go. But sometimes it's very mixed. We have poor people with rich people, very rich people living almost as neighborhoods. So sometimes you can find some robbery in the very rich places, but it's not that common because we have 7 million people in Rio. So if it was that
Wow.
dangerous, people want to live there. So you just have to pay attention. Like we don't drive there with the windows open because people can reach your phone and live with it. But yeah, it's just have to pay attention and
Yeah,
not
and
use an
honestly,
iPhone like that.
even I think everywhere has a level of crime and really nice neighborhoods. For like most well-established cities are gonna have that, like where there's really nice areas and then some really dangerous areas. Even almost every city that's been
Mhm.
released in the U.S. so far in Upland, I think you can say the same for some. There's some really dangerous neighborhoods in San Francisco. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
that if you go there as a tourist to visit, you'll want to stay in certain neighborhoods and avoid other neighborhoods. That's just how it is. So I think,
yeah. I think the problem in Rio is that it's just more mixed because you have it everywhere, almost everywhere. So
yeah,
some places like in US you have dangerous places like far away from the center or something like that. But here you have it like around in the
yeah,
middle.
yeah. That makes
In the
sense.
middle. So
That
that's
makes sense.
it's a problem that you should probably have, uh, get away with it, but it's hard, very hard, because it's also in the politicians. They sometimes they want it because they control the traffickers.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, I mean, we've talked a lot about Brazil. We've talked a lot about the Rio release tomorrow. It is early in the morning. I do want to remind everyone, and let's go back here and look at this article that Upland released. 5 a.m. Pacific time, July 26th is the release for Rio. So that is tomorrow morning, very early in the morning. They're, I believe, are they going to be doing another stress test tomorrow? Or
No,
they're just dropping it, right? Because we did it. We
yeah,
had a successful stress test today, so we should be good to go.
50K properties, man. It's like a Manhattan. It's not that
Very
much.
yeah, not a lot of properties.
Yeah,
So it's very possible. And I know I've said this before. People gave me crap about LA, but it's possible that Rio, because we already saw some really low cost properties. I'm not all the FSA will sell out, but it's possible all the non FSA could sell out in 24 hours even. I mean, we could see this go quick because we're seeing that they're reasonably priced. It's the first international city to come outside of the United States to Upland. It has a lot of people excited. Just for that reason, there's a lot of hype around it, and we could see the entire city sell out fairly quickly. So especially those small neighborhoods, the really popular streets, all of those I think are going to sell out within the first hour. And we saw the same thing in Las Vegas. We saw all the arts district sell out like literally in minutes.
yeah,
So I think we're going to see the same thing. So if there's something you really want to go for, you have to prioritize it and go for it right away. You have to be on the
And
ball. And we covered a lot tonight. You can go back and see all the different places we've talked about. Tons of cool places in Rio. A lot of beachfront properties that are really beautiful. So
yeah, and another cool thing is that a lot of news tellers are talking about Upland, about Rio. So we are starting to have a lot of new players also coming to Upland. So FSAs also are going to be very, they are going to vanish
yeah,
quickly.
I'm sure Upland is doing some marketing campaigns in Brazil right now, right? I'm sure they're
Yeah,
targeting to introduce the Brazilian community to the game, and so we'll probably see a lot of new players coming in
uh,
just for this Rio release. Very cool.
and that's probably why they made the flight for free, because new players, they have to go to to Rio. It would they would expend all the money if they had to pay
Oh yeah,
for it.
very expensive. It's going to be expensive to get back
Yeah,
if you want to go back to the U.S. and Upland for sure. So get some properties here, flip those properties for a good profit, and I hope Upland keeps doing that. Like free travel days or something like that. I think it's like a fun event. Maybe they could do once a month or something.
or even for Uplanders and pros, maybe it's free for them.
Yeah, visitors, Uplanders, free
uh,
travel or something like that. That would be really cool as well.
for sure.
So, is there anything else you want to share? I mean, this is the first time. Like, we should probably do another podcast. I think in the future, just learning more. Something I want to do more content of is just learning more about players and their journeys. But maybe you could give us a little bit of that before we go. Like, how long have you been in Upland? What have you been enjoying about it so far? And what made you want to make a YouTube channel about it?
I've been playing since April 21. It's
Okay,
1 year and a
April
half.
2021.
Yeah, I almost get Manhattan. I was just after Manhattan.
Okay.
It would be nice. And I get in love with this game because I like to play games like Sin City, The Sims. I like games that they don't end. They don't have an end. You can keep
Yeah.
playing and playing. And I was playing some NFT games also. So I saw Upland with buildings and properties and NFTs. If I'm man, I'm gonna love this game, and and I started it, and yeah, I the second day I was putting $10 to start playing, and immediately I was a professor for 7 years, so it's inside me. I want to teach people, help people to learn more about the game, and here I am 1 year and a half later with a lot of Brazilians players, like helping them, trying to help them. I try to answer everyone. It's something that I really like to do. Like you left your job for that, so I think like probably you love Upland too. Maybe
Absolutely.
maybe in the future I'm going to do something like that. I'm doing my PhD right now, so I can't stop that. Yeah, I almost
Wow.
finishing 4 years studying, so I have to finish this. And I also work as a developer, so I divide my time for programming, studying, playing Upland,
Good
making
for
videos.
you. Good for you. You're doing a lot. Doing a
Yeah, I'm
lot.
doing a
And
lot.
I do want to congratulate you again on winning Player of the Year. I think it was well deserved just because of you've taken on so much, like to help translate for a lot of the people who don't even speak very much English at all or no English whatsoever. You've kind of taken that upon yourself to help them learn because there's not a lot of resources out there.
No.
And now look, they're gonna start translating the game. I noticed tonight when I logged into the game, I went into the game and it said, "Do you want to do it in Portuguese or English?"
Yeah, we have an option right now in settings. You can choose your language.
Yes, you can go to
Yeah,
settings and you can choose
language.
language,
It's
and Portuguese is the
Portuguese.
first language other than English. So that's really cool. And again, I think a lot of that credit goes to a lot of the work you've put in introducing so many of the Brazilian people in Portuguese, teaching them about the game. So well done there, sir. I hope we can keep having some more podcasts in the future. Maybe we'll recap how Brazil went, and next time learn a little bit more about your journey and a little bit more about you. But
Nice.
thank you so much for teaching us about more about Rio, about the culture, about some neighborhoods to look out for tomorrow. I hope everyone is excited. And it's about time to go to sleep if you want to be able to wake up in time and not be exhausted, be able to focus when it's time to
Yeah,
start buying some properties tomorrow.
yeah. Try to calculate the where you should leave your block explorer and let him walk all the night long.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do
so
that.
my strategy as always is I'm going to try to get 2 or 3 properties in almost every neighborhood. I'm probably going to just go for a lot of those small ones at the beginning that are going to sell out.
Yeah, that's
Um, that's probably what I'm going to do, because then you're always like going to at least get the neighborhood collections. So, and I like that so far we're seeing that nothing is too overpriced. What's going to be are you going for anything specific at the very beginning? You kind of keeping that a secret, or what's your
I'm thinking in trying to meet first where my block explorer is. I want go sending because the most famous places are going to be crazy. So I will try to make the calculation to send my block explorer down to south. I'm
yeah.
going to try the beaches there. And at 9 a.m. in my time, where my block explorer is, I'm going to click
Mint a
and
few
mint
properties.
the cheapest one I'm gonna mint,
Yep.
and
Smart.
then I try to go for some other neighborhoods.
Yep. Beautiful. Well, there you have it. Thank you again so much for coming out. I know it's getting later. What time is it there for you? Like almost midnight,
Midnight,
or
midnight. Yeah,
okay. Well, not too bad, but
not
so you can get 8 hours of sleep and be ready to go.
yeah. I'm trying because I'm so excited. So I think I won't sleep like for an hour.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be. I gotta stay up and answer some questions as well. I have a ton of Discord messages I need to catch up on. For those of you who've been reaching out to me, I'm sorry. I get a lot every day. I know I'm super behind. But thanks for joining me, Mucida. I invited you just a few days ago, and he showed up for it. So last minute, thank you so much.
Thank
And
you
we'll have to do this again. And everybody,
for sure.
YouTube, thank you so much for the support. Thank you to all the members here. I see a few people with those astronauts in chat, looking good. Miguel, Doobie, looking good. Thank you so much for the additional support there. And as always, we'll see you in the next one. Peace
See
out.
you, man.
Okay.